martial arts.
Hey, happy Monday, everybody. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you had some good time to rest and eat well and maybe watch movies and play outside and go for bike rides. I know I sure did, but I'm also really excited that the new week has started. So thanks for joining us here. We've got a whole new lineup of morning videos for you every day. Use those throughout the day. Use them when you want to. We're going to try to get them off to you pretty early. And then we have our virtual live classes. And then we're starting our Tuesday, Thursday hangout sessions in the mid-morning for a lot of our junior students who just want to kind of get together and hang out. Be more information on an email about that today. So this is sparring week. And I know a lot of you are like, well, how do we spar? I don't have a partner, or I don't want to spar in my living room. We're not going to be doing a whole lot of sparring, and we're going to be doing a lot of sparring footwork, a lot of fitness, a lot of speed kicks, kind of more explosive activity. And for those of you that have a sparring partner at home, whether it's a brother or a sister or a mom or a dad or a daughter or son, I want you to be very careful about your choices to spar at home. I'm not going to recommend you guys spar. One, you don't have the right flooring. You don't have enough space. You're not in the Taekwondo environment. I just don't see it going well. Okay, so this is a week that we're going to be focusing on things like fitness and footwork and endurance. Because for those of you that have been to sparring matches, you realize that it takes a lot of energy. So when you get through the week, I hope that everybody will feel a little bit more challenged, or that they're able to challenge their partner a little bit more, because they've got some good footwork skills and some drills, and also maybe a better cardio and better stamina and endurance. So a lot of this video today is going to be focused on sparring. So let's go ahead and get started. Our jumping jacks are going to be sparring jumping jacks. All right, so you're going to get into your sparring stance, and we'll do 25 on each side. So my sparring stance is feet apart, and I'm going to be hopping up and down. Sometimes I'm going to be kind of shuffling, going forward and back a little bit, and that allows me to have that ability to be explosive, either going forward or defending myself going backwards. Okay, so let's start with 25 sparring jumping jacks. Here we go. Ready? Go. Tensor. $20, sir. 25, sir. Done, sir. Switch feet. Start your sparring stance. And 25 more. Go. Tensor. $20, sir. 25, sir. And borrow. And chariot. Okay, next one is going to be our sparring footwork switches. So we're bouncing here, okay? And we're going to switch our feet, but not our body. So that looks like this, okay? Switching our feet and our body would be here. So I'm not totally committing to the foot switch. I'm doing it for a number of reasons. Maybe I'm trying to make my partner react to my feet moving around, or maybe I'm trying to position my leg in a better position for a kick, or maybe I'm focused on switching and seeing what happens, but being ready to move backwards. That would be the foot switch, and then go back. So I'm not trying to totally switch my feet. I don't really want to spar with my opposite leg forward. So we're going to bounce 3 and switch 1, and then it'll be a count of 4. So it'll go 1, 2, switch, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Are you ready? We're going to do that a few times. Then we're going to totally switch feet and try it on the other side. Ready? Go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, switch, 4. 1, 2, switch, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. last one is from our sparring stance again. And when you're sparring, you don't have a whole lot of time to prepare for the moves that we do in forms. And that's why we practice that in forms, because if we had the most the longest amount of time and the most perfect conditions, we can prepare, land, punch. Or we can kick, land, block. So under perfect circumstances, through only the control that we needed, which is the control of our own bodies and our own balance and our own timing, we can prepare correctly, take that extra time. In sparring, there's so many other factors. It's not just you out there. You're trying to defend yourself and retain points and not give up points by getting kicked so much, so you don't have a whole lot of time to prepare. So sometimes my outer forearm block, instead of starting here and blocking out, my outer forearm block in sparring from my hand position already being up just looks like that. It almost looks like I'm knocking on the window, trying to get somebody's attention. Boom, boom, knocking on the door, boom. So it's not the whole full preparation. What I see a lot of people doing in sparring is taking their pumse technique too literal in sparring. Sparring is survival and sparring is defense, okay? And so you don't have a whole lot of time to prepare for that kind of stuff. So our first combination in our sparring stance is just gonna be with our hands up, and I know a lot of people like the hand down, but on this one, go ahead and keep your hands up. You're gonna block and then return. So block and return. We're bouncing, we're going 10 times. Ready? 1, 2, 3, notice that my other hand is always protecting the far side of my face. 4, always bouncing. 5, 6, keep it up. 7, 8, 2 more. 9, 10, switch feet. Now on this one, we're gonna block and then follow it up with a punch. So I have my hands in my advanced arm-based position, meaning my guard. I block, and while that person's foot is still touching my forearm, I'm able to punch and then return my hand back. Block, the punch starts with my hand in the block, and then I pull back, always protecting the far side, the near side of my face with that hand. Block, punch, yelling on the punch, if you want. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, one more time all the way through. Ready? Bouncing. Now we're gonna go block, punch, punch. So I blocked the round kick, and I keep my hand out and just almost slide down their leg, punch to the body. Block, punch, punch. Block, punch, punch. So it's a block, and then a jab, and then a cross. But this jab isn't coming back here. I'm keeping pressure on that leg and making sure that a second or a third round kick doesn't come my way. Block, keep it there, punch, and now I'm still slightly protected up here. Block, punch, punch. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, switch feet, 5 on each side. Ready? 1, 2, notice that my hand, as soon as it's done working, it comes back to protect my head. 3, keep it up, 2 more. 4, 5, Baro, chariot. All right, grab some water, come back, put paws on, grab some water and come right back. Welcome back. Let's do this. Let's go with our number 1 and then number 2 kicks for our kicking warm up. So why? Well, if I'm sparring and I have somebody move in on me, or we're already close enough for me to do a number 1 kick, I'm gonna reach out, and usually that first kick is hard to land in sparring. You need to follow it up with a second or third or 10th kick. So I'm gonna kick and assume my partner has moved out of the way, moved back. So that's when I follow them with a little bit more reaching kick. Number 2, land in front, then step back. Number 1, land in front. Number 2, land in front, and then step back. Everybody got it? Number 1, front kick. Number 2, front kick, and start again. From your kicking stance, 5 on each leg. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Switch feet. Other leg is forward. Make sure these front kicks are going forward, not up. It's called an up chagi because it goes towards the front. It's not called an up chagi. If somebody's coming in on you and the only front kick you know is one that can kick a flat surface, then this is not going to be the kick that saves you. The kick that starts in and goes forward as a front kick is going to be the one that protects you from your big, fast sparring partner. Right leg forward. Ready? Number 1, number 2, lay in front. Reset. Sparring stance. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and borrow. Nice job, everybody. Those kicks are really important to know that you have the control to execute a good kick, land it, and recover afterwards. That's what sparring good kicks are going to be about starting the day. Okay, next one, slide in side kick. This is one of my favorites. If you've ever sparred me, you realize that this kick is a super effective kick at closing that distance, small distance, that some people think they're so comfortable in. Meaning, if I'm sparring somebody and they're just without my kicking range, they're comfortable, right? They're in the green zone. They can't get kicked unless I move forward or if they move forward. They can't get kicked. So they found themselves kind of comfortable knowing that if I did advance on them with a kick, if I did move forward, they'd be able to see it in time in order to move backwards. And if you can really sneak this slide in side kick into your sparring matches, it's really difficult to get a good, it's really difficult to avoid a good slide in side kick. Almost every single time you're gonna get kicked if you misjudge how well that person can do that kick. So, in our sparring stance, slide in side kick. This is a sneaky kick, so you're trying to be sneaky. You can lean back and chamber for that number 1. That's the only way to start this kick. Lean and chamber. Because what is that person who's already out of kicking range gonna think when you lean back and do a number 1? Well, now you're even farther out of kicking range. So, if you step up and chamber, well, you've stepped up, they've stepped back, you might as well not even chamber because they've already distanced themselves outside of kicking range again. So don't move that back foot first. That's the hardest thing for a lot of you out there, is moving that back leg first. Don't do it. That's a number 3 kick, or that's a number 3 jump kick. Chamber, slide, either side kick or round kick. Okay, you can do hook kicks, you can do all sorts of stuff, but you're gonna be relying mostly on that slide and side kick. Here we go, 5 on each side. From our sparring stance. 1, 2. You're not trying to jump all the way across the living room. You're trying to move 4 or 5 inches, just enough to reach the person who thinks they're out of range. 2, 3, 4, 5, switch feet. Go in another direction, change it up a little bit. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and borrow. Chariot. All right, so this next thing we're gonna be doing, you're gonna need some rings. Now, you know we have rings, and maybe you don't, but maybe you've got a hula hoop, or maybe you got 3 hula hoops, okay? If you don't have those, maybe you got a belt, a leather belt. Put it on its biggest setting. Once you get good at the biggest setting, make that ring smaller by putting it on a smaller setting, okay? So pause the video, go get yourself some rings, some belts, some loops, something to help you with your footwork, okay? All right, we'll see you in a second. Welcome back. I've got one ring on the ground and the camera's mostly pointed down, so when I stand up, you can see my feet. It's not so important that you see my head on this one. We're gonna do a number of footwork exercises with one, and then we'll do a few footwork exercises with 3 rings in a straight line. So make sure you got what you got. And you don't really need any of this stuff, honestly. The ring just is a good reminder of where you should be, where your feet should be in relation to your other foot, or in relation to your imaginary opponent. So the more training equipment you have, the better experience you're gonna have. But none of it is really necessary, right? You can go up and train Taekwondo in the mountains with not a single thing, and come down from the mountain being a stronger martial artist. So hopefully you got some stuff. If not, no big deal. First one is our double step. So put one foot in the ring and one foot behind, so your sparring stance is coming forward. And I want you to double step 10 times, okay? So you're gonna go forward, back, 1, right? Forward, back, 2. Now on a double step, if now I'm going this way, the back foot going forward, the back foot always moves first, and then it kind of expels the front foot out of it, okay? So as soon as I'm about to land, I have to move that foot out of the way. So in a double step in sparring, it's very, very slow and probably a pretty bad idea to ever actually put your feet together. I'm off balance, I can't move as quick. So feet are always apart. So the better you get at this, those feet never get close together, right? You're using the good, strong, controlled hip muscles to do your double step, okay? So we're gonna go double step 1, double step 2, we're gonna go all the way to 10, and then we're gonna switch feet. Remember, double step is not step feet together and then step forward. So in this case, this is my right leg, it's forward, and after the double step, it's still forward. All right? Because a lot of you, when you spar, you say, oh, I love sparring with my left foot forward. Well, that means that you need to move around, you need to do your footwork, you need to be able to pivot, turn, evade, attack, always keeping the same foot forward. So let's do 10. Forward, back is 1. Ready? Bouncing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Switch feet. Go another direction. Ready? Bouncing. 1, 2. Try not to look down. You can't look at your feet while you're sparring. 3. Look forward. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Good, and borrow. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and keep this ring out, the single ring, and we're gonna be working the clock exercise. So 12, 6, 3, and 9. Or on a compass, north, south, east, west. So have somebody in your home call out those positions, and that means the back foot becomes that position. Meaning if I'm looking straight down at my ring, north, south, east, and west. Pivoting foot always stays in the ring. So north would be I have to go over that way with my back foot. I can step across and then turn, because the left foot is always going to be forward. Or I can pivot all the way around. So that's north, or maybe it's 12 o'clock. How about west? South, west, east. 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock. Okay, everybody, does that make sense? So I want you to either do just as I was doing and try to call it out without thinking about it. If you're all alone and you're in your house doing this all by yourself, Then call out north, south, east, and west without even thinking about where it is. And once you hear it reverberating off the walls in the house and you can hear your own voice, then do it. So don't think about, let's see, 6 is there, so I'm going to say 6. Even close your eyes. So if you have somebody in there with you, this is a fun partner drill. Try to confuse them. Start slow, be nice, pause the video, and I want for 3 or 4 minutes you and your partner to switch, or if it's just you, 1.5, 2 minutes, something like that. And I want you doing that with both feet forward, okay? So my left foot was in the ring that whole time, now my right foot's in the ring. And you can say things like 3, 6, so that's 3, 6. Or you can say northwest, northwest. So you're having to move and you're having to react. Sparring is about reaction. Sparring is about awareness, and sparring is about explosive speed. I love sparring people who haven't quite dialed in that explosive speed. And when I say people, I mean black belt men who I compete against. They haven't quite gotten to that level where they can explode into a new position. So be that person that can, because those are really hard people to spar. They're hard people to kick because they're really good at defense, and they're hard to defend against because they're always moving, all right? So 2 or 3 minutes, working with you, yourself, or a partner. Have fun with this, okay? It's maybe a time to kind of joke around and play around with each other a little bit, right? Maybe take points off every time they get it wrong and give them push-ups or something. Have a little fun with this, north, south, east, west, or compass drill, all right? We'll see you in a second. Welcome back. I hope that was good. I hope that was fun. That's just 4 different positions you can go, and that's just one way to get there, right? Pivoting on that left foot. So throughout the week, we'll work more of those speed and explosive reaction drills. But let's add 2 more rings to the line here. And honestly, you only really need 2, and I'll show you why. All right, now I'm going to use 3, but I have the red, the blue, and the yellow, right? Okay. And you're going to hop in each one, and that's why I say you don't really need the middle one, right? You can do just as, you could hop in that blank space. So again, do you need any rings? No. But the rings kind of keep us accountable and keep us honest for our accuracy of our footwork. So this is called chamber hop. So I want you to chamber for round kick. In the first drill, you're going to pause this and work throughout the next few minutes on these. And I want you to feel that the longer you go, the harder it is, because we're working on building that stamina and endurance. First one, you're never going to put the right foot down until you get outside that last ring. Hop, keep that round kick chamber. Hop, hop, hop. You can land, switch feet, and then go the other direction. Hop, 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 land. Switch feet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch. So you're going to go back and forth, switching every single time. And every time you leave the top ring, that's 1. Every time you come back, 2, 3, 4. I want you to go all the way to 10, switch feet. Come back after that, pause the video, come back after that, and we've got another variation of that. Ready? Have fun. Go. Okay, so I'm hoping that everybody's working on keeping that leg in the air. The higher you jump and the faster you try to move, the harder it is to control that chambered leg. You might not realize that. When you hop, it wants to drop. And if you're ever going to spar at a higher level in class and get up through the black belt ranks, that ability to keep that knee in between you and your partner is really important. When somebody hops at me with a chambered knee and it's not moving and bouncing up and down and it's steady like a statue's leg, I don't want anywhere near that. I know I'm going to get kicked if I get too close to that. Here's the next one. We're going to go forward and back now. So we're hopping 8 times before putting the foot down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Switch. Every time you switch, you're starting a new one. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would be 1. Switch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That would be 2. Switch all the way to 10. That'll be your last ring exercise. So pause the video, go through that a few times, however long you want. If you feel like you're stepping on your ring or your belt or whatever you're using and you're not accurately going into the rings, then don't count it. Okay, everybody working from home this week can really design how hard you, as a self-instructor, can be on yourself. Are you gonna just let yourself get away with it even though it's not the best? That's okay, right? But it's gonna make you grow a lot faster if you have to repeat things and hold yourself to a higher standard. Take a break after this, grab some water, come back, and we got a couple more exercises for everybody. All right, see you in a second. Welcome back. We got a round of exercises for you that are good strengthening exercises for your legs, and it's nothing that you haven't seen before. And then if you have a sparring partner, then I want you to work one final drill with your sparring partner after this. So let's move to some of our leg strengthening exercises. If you stuck around any last week, you saw some of these. So our first one is jump lunges, all right? And so I'm gonna introduce a few exercises for everybody, and then I want you to pause it, go through these exercises, grab some water. What's great about these videos is that normally in class, if you feel like you could use just 2 more minutes, Mr. Beck, please, just 2 more minutes, I gotta catch my breath, then these videos are perfect for you. Not 10 minutes, everybody. 10 minutes, you've already lost track, you've checked your phone, you've forgotten a message, somebody needed to bring their garbage can in, you're outside, and you won't ever get back to your Taekwondo class. So if you need an extra minute, that's fine. But don't be stingy and don't get distracted by pushing pause and going off and making yourself a sandwich. Okay, everybody? First one, lunges, all right? A couple different levels of difficulty here. I want you to keep one foot in back this whole time, so that could be just lunge and stand up, lunge and stand up, okay? That's number one. The next one is gonna be kind of a jump out of that position. So here, jump, lunge, jump, lunge, jump, lunge, all right? So 10 lunges or jump lunges on each side. So that would mean 10 here, and then I switch, and I'm going 10 over here on this other side, all right? Let's go ahead and get down for our crunches. Crunches again, it's not a full sit-up. I'm here, legs off the ground, I crunch in, touch the fingertips, and back. In and out. In and out. Ab strengthening, core strengthening, hip strengthening. 30. Go. And let's finish up with push-ups. This one's gonna be a tough one, and you're welcome to take the time that you need on this one especially. So we're going 50 push-ups. You can change it up each 10, or you can do 4-count push-ups, or you can mix it up all you want. But let's make sure that after all the stuff we're doing with our legs at home, the walking and the climbing stairs, and maybe the outside on the trampoline, all that stuff, let's not forget about our arms. Our arms block all the time in sparring, even if we're just covering our body and absorbing the kick. If our muscles aren't gonna absorb the kick, what will? Our bones, our skin, all right? So let's make sure that our arm muscles are not getting neglected as we're doing all of our work at home. So 50 push-ups, could be traditional push-ups, could be your 4-count push-ups, could be your diamond push-ups, could be anything, tricep dips, 50 push-ups. Let's come back and talk about our last sparring drill, okay? All right, see you in a second. So as I mentioned a little bit earlier, the last sparring drill would be great if you had a partner for this, because you're gonna be kind of doing a little bit of that double step forward and kind of like a slide in round kick. It's almost like a combination of both of those, or it's a hybrid technique. You're gonna move in, kick, and then move away. Now remember, when you're sparring, your sparring partner doesn't want to get kicked, just like you don't want to get kicked. So you don't spar in a range where you can just lift up and kick. That would be reckless. That would be careless if you just stood so close to somebody in sparring that all they had to do was pick up and kick. The danger of sparring is that distance that somebody has to close. Somebody has to close the distance to get close enough to kick. Who's it gonna be, right? And if those people that are closing that distance are confident enough that it's gonna be them, then you wanna be prepared with a kick in order, because you are attacking, right? You can defend and stay there and wait for that person to come in and kick. But if you're the one moving in and kicking, you've gotta be confident that you have the speed and the agility and the footwork in order to close that distance, setting yourself in the kind of the kicking zone or the danger zone, and then kicking and then getting out of the way. So this is a drill that we've worked on a lot, if you have somebody that you're working with, you can choose, I'm gonna tap them lightly, maybe on their hand, so they're holding their hand out, and you jump in and you round kick it and they move away. Or for those black belts out there that are training with a partner, you can maybe choose to go put your hogels on. Possibly, if you don't even have that, you could still do a light tap on the belly. If you're working with somebody and you're a color belt, then I would advise you guys to do kind of like one-step type work where you get in close and you get close to kicking them, but you don't kick them, you purposely don't kick them, right? But if this is the surface of my belly and this is the foot coming in, try to get close, right? Try to get that foot close, but not actually hit. So 45 seconds, so get your timer out and you're gonna close the class just like this, okay? After the 45 seconds is up, I want us to have one more kind of a moment together. So pause, do the exercise, come back, but you're doing a jump round kick or a foot to foot round kick, as Mrs. Beck calls it. So remember your double step was here. Well, that's the footwork for the kick. Instead of landing the front foot here, you're gonna keep it in the air in a round kick chamber. So you're gonna jump in like the double step, but then you come up for that round kick, and then you go back like the double step. Remember, you're trying to get in close to this opponent of yours, kick them, and then get away. The worst thing you could do in a sparring match is close that distance and then land right next to that person. So we want to get close, kick, and then move away. Not this. How do you guys do it? You're not moving any closer, right? You have to actually move in and move away. If you've got some rings still out, use those, because this is not moving closer. It's just you switching where your base foot is. Your base foot is here, now your base foot is here. You guys actually have to move forward and move back. 45 seconds on each leg, touching your partner's hand, kicking your partner's hogel, purposely not kicking your partner in the belly. You can use a chair, you can use the cushions of the sofa that are next to you. All of it is gonna help with one, speed and endurance, and two, control. If you're kicking somebody's hand, you know you just gotta barely tap it. Same thing with their belly. If you're not kicking them at all, you know you gotta get close. 45 seconds on each side. Good luck and we'll see you in a second. Well, great class, everyone. What a great start to a Monday. I hope you got a good workout. And if you like this one and you see tomorrow's workout and you don't like it as much, you can go, you know what, I'm gonna go back and do Mondays again. That was a great workout. That one part troubled me, and I think if I keep working on it, I can do it more and more and do it better and better. So it will be sparring week. Remember, I'm not encouraging anybody to put on your sparring gear and spar each other. That's not really what we're doing this week. If you can work on this stuff, then when you do get back here at the dojo and you start sparring, you're gonna be way ahead of everybody else who all they wanted to do is put their sparring gear on and kick and punch somebody else, all right? Sometimes we have to train and drill in order to go out and play the game. So have a great Monday. We'll see you tonight for live classes, and then hopefully we'll be talking to a lot of you either on Tuesday or Thursday in the Hangouts. Let us know how things are going. We miss you guys, and we'll see you real soon. Take care.